I'm Paul Donovan. This is the world headquarters of Salter Street Films. That's the production company of Lexx. I'm the kind of writer, producer, director, and this is Lexx. Lexx Jigaroff, Jeff Hirschfeld, they are also writers on the show. And I'm standing out here because we agreed to make the shows 120 minutes long or something like that for UK video, but they're actually only 93. So we're adding additional material on the end. That's what you're watching right now. But it's raining outside, so we're going inside. See you. Okay, we're indoors, it's dry. Backstory on this whole project. About 10 years ago, around 1985, I directed a film called DEFCON 4. DEFCON 4 was not the greatest film ever made. It was...
the seeds of greatness, though.
It was pretty great. It was pretty great.
Okay,
Don't beat yourself up.
No. It may have had the tiny little kernel of the
seeds,
but not very big ones. But anyway, DEFCON 4 made a lot of money. It sold 60,000 video units in the US. That was huge at that time, and the distributors made a lot of money. We didn't make any money, but we realized that maybe there's something to this genre. And in the show itself, there were some good scenes. Most of it wasn't that great, but there were a few scenes that I personally still like to this day. So it kind of stuck with me that our company might want to make something in science fiction. So and then I did a lot of other stuff, some movies and TV movies and that sort of thing. And about 3 years ago, I wanted to make a World War I film that cost about $35 million. Now, I didn't have the $35 million, so I investigated a way of trying to do it cheaper using computer animation. Now, this is Canada, and in Canada, many of the computer animation programs that are normally used in films come from. Softimage, Prisms, Discrete Logic. These are companies who make the things that make the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park or bumpers change on cars or whatever. We took some propeller heads who make CG, and we put them together and shook them up with our idea for a science fiction show, and we made a promo. And then the idea was to bring this promo around to various buyers of television programming or specialty broadcasters throughout the world and see if we could get the money. So this promo, it's not perfect because it's actually cruder CG, because this is 3 years ago and we didn't have the money to set up a real infrastructure. But you can see this promo right now, and this is what I went around in my briefcase and raised the money for the show on.
I worship a shadow.
I worship a shadow.
Prisoner transport KLR 600 entering frontier. Requesting docking beam to punishment gate 2.
Authority code?
Code? Nobody asks for the code anymore?
Wrong code.
I can't remember the code.
Yeah?
You were expecting a prisoner transport of 1400, right?
1405.
And how often do they come?
2, 3 a month.
Right. So let's forget about the code.
I can't do that.
What rank are you?
Security guard, class 4.
Security guard 4th class, sir. I'm a line major in the Holy Protectors of the Divine Shadow, Light Cavalry Division number 216.
No.
No, sir. And I'm ordering you to turn on your docking beam, understand?
I can't do that.
Why not?
You've got the wrong code.
I'm giving you a direct order.
I can't help you.
I worship his shadow.
I worship his shadow.
Docking beam engaged now, sir. And security guard class 4 Stanley Tweedle is presently being entered for correction punishment himself.
I request that he be demoted.
Class 4 is already the lowest.
Well, I trust his punishment will be severe.
I will request that, sir.
Thank you, Sergeant.
May his shadow fall upon you.
May his shadow fall upon you.
Once the prisoners have received their fair trial and severe punishments, you must turn yourself into Correction Center number 5 for severe punishment yourself, Stanley. Stanley Tweedle. And may his merciful shadow fall upon you.
May his merciful shadow fall upon me. Are you? Merciful shadow.
Okay, there's the promo. And there's Stanley Tweedle, he's wearing a different costume. People liked it. Now the CG is a little bit primitive, that's the computer graphics, compared to what we have now. But, you know, it's not bad. And so we needed some people to write the show, so I looked around, and in Canada, all the good writers have gone to Hollywood, let's just face it. So I had to, like, look around, see what was left. And there are some people, and they might have had the potential to be good writers, but at least I could get them cheap. And that's Lexx and Jeff. They, you know, like, let's call them gems in the rough.
We are cheap and easy too.
What I'd also like to talk about is I would like Jeff and Lexx to tell them about themselves, where they came from, and what they did before they started working on this picture.
Well, I came up as an actor, and I did some theater, and I did Canada's version of Stratford on the Avon, and then I went to Toronto and struggled to get a day on a Jamie Farr movie of the week, and I didn't get that, so I slung fish burgers at some Toronto scuzzhole restaurant, and just before I was about to go out and start hooking, Paul came by and gave me a career, so I'm forever in his debt.
And the world never knows what they really missed.
Yeah, that's the thing,
You
because
got
I would
that
have made
next step, you
a
know.
terrific hooker, I
Got it,
think.
you know.
And I still might, but now I can do it just for fun, you know, instead of trying to
Exactly.
pay the rent.
Well, I was, you know, sort of doing whatever I had to do to survive. And, you know, there's no whore like an old whore. You know,
Well, if it
for
wasn't
me,
pretty.
you know, literally I would do things like murder mysteries, pirate tours. We're in Halifax, so we get a lot of tourists who want to know about the sea. So you take like rich Americans out and go, "Arr, everybody on the bus at like in an hour, ho!" Then we'll cruise down to the waterfront, arr. And you know, little fringe plays, and I worked in radio and did a little sort of bit of acting here and there. But the hooking option wasn't an option for me because look at me, quite frankly.
And then we started writing. So we would go to the beach and, you know, hang around bars and
Very demanding.
whatever.
Yeah.
And we started working up an overall idea for this entire series. What you've seen on show number 1 or picture number 1 is all set up. You know, it's introduction of the characters.
Hi, I'm Zeph.
I will love you forever.
I'm security guard 4th class Stanley Tweedle.
I am Kai.
We have plans where it goes through the 4 pictures, which are kind of a cycle, and also beyond. But I could say what we really wanted to do was to make something that had, you know, a little bit of Dirty Dozen meet Alien, or Beavis and Butthead meet Alien. You know, like I don't watch that much TV. I mean, some people do. but
Meets
I-
High School Hard Bellies,
Yeah.
which is one of my favorite shows.
Sorority suck. You ever
Yeah,
seen that? That's
it's terrific and fine acting.
And then we kind of like science fiction in a certain way, certain types of science fiction, like
Skimpy costume.
Gives you costume science fiction. I like Alien, you know, and
Stargate.
then I liked Dark Star.
Dark
I
Star
mean,
was
it was kind of a bit cheap looking, but it was fun. Now, most science fiction that I see on TV isn't that much fun these days. So we wanted to make something that had fun and sort of had some production value and was a little bit subversive and had some black humor. Most shows come from Los Angeles. Okay, now in Los Angeles, people aren't that funny. I mean, there are a lot of smart people down there, but they're kind of serious.
And polite.
And, well, sometimes polite, not always. So this is a very weird thing because it is a show that comes from Canada, and we're on the east coast of Canada, and here people are, you know, they don't take themselves too seriously because, frankly, they don't have a good reason to.
Well, you know, I mean, how seriously can we really be, you know, when we have to get up every morning and club harp seals for our breakfast? You know, through the ice. We've got to dig a hole in the ice, and, you know, I know all you British people are very upset about, you know, the fur and stuff, but it's food for us. That's how we,
Yeah, exactly.
you know, and when you have to deal with that
Brutal
kind of
winters.
level of brutal violence on a daily basis, then our humor kind of comes out organically.
One thing you may notice in this show is that there's a lot of bug stuff.
Stingers!
Like we want things to be fairly insectoid, or at least certainly very organic. And part of it is, I've always wondered, why is the future modern? Like, you know, modern as in modernism with all these hard angles and flat, smooth surfaces. And, you know, okay, it was the style that was in fashion as the style of the future in the 1920s. But why, you know, everybody's got the octagonal door thing. I mean, are they going to have octagonal doors 2,000 years from now? I don't know. So we figured maybe they won't. So we, in our particular world, because of this backstory of the insect wars, we have brought in this insect technology, and it should affect the design. And also, instead of having one designer, as in a normal show, we have about 8 production designers who worked fairly independently. We wanted to avoid the concept of a town all designed by one architect to have a variety of look. One thing I should mention is we have an email address called, if you notice at the end of the show, called www.lexx.com. And there's a section in there called Naked Money Grab. We want to sell you things and you to give us your money. But you don't actually have to sell you anything. You can just give us the money.
Yeah, if you could just anything really, we'd really, and not to get future episodes made, just for us personally. You know, if you've got anything, cash, preferably.
Shellacked Yorkshire puddings.
Is there anything we've left out?
Well, we've got the 4 movies.
4 movies.
Coming up, the Lexx, which is, well, they know, they've just seen the movie, so it's
Okay,
like a
the
big
4
inside.
movies. What's the next picture about?
The next one is called Supernova, and there's a lot more sex in it.
Stroked, pleasured.
Yeah, baby, you gonna get it.
Basically,
Do we
Never
learn-
enough. We're going
there's
to work
not
on that in a
quite enough
series.
sex in it, but
Never
there's
enough.
a lot of sex.
Yeah.
Lot of sex.
Yeah.
There's like.
We want to
big
get
time.
Fergie and Zev together in the mud wrestling pit.
Exactly.
No.
Spandex and a little jump.
Yeah.
Do we learn anything new about Zev, for instance?
Well,
Actually, that was a setup question.
yeah. Well, you know.
Did we learn anything new about Zev?
Yeah.
What? Well, see, during her love slave transformation, her hair color changed, and there's a big mystery surrounding that. It's like, you know, was it just the hair on her head, or where else? Where do people have hair? Where, you know, what?
Is it blue everywhere?
Is it blue everywhere? This is the, you know, inquiring minds want to know.
And all will be revealed in good time. So that's pretty well the highlight of number 2.
Yeah.
Okay, and what else should we talk about?
Well,
What have I
How
missed?
about the title?
oh, the title. Do you want to know how the show got the title of Lexx?
It's getting worse.
Lexx
It's getting
track.
worse.
The Lexx
Okay.
Files.
Oh
The Lexx Files.
The Lexx Files is
my
good.
God, what about
Let's see that. Let's hold that card up. Let's have a look at that.
Yeah.
Joyride.
All right, let's have a
Fuck.
look at that.
Let me
Right
see
there.
it.
Yeah, I can see it perfect. How about
Space orifice.
how about Lexolicious?
It's not getting any better.
Lexcitement.
Lexolicious.
Lexcitement.
You're just about to
Lexecute.
witness a
Lex it
disaster
up.
of
Lexual harassment.
a useless attempt to find a name.
Lexual healing. Lexual
Penal
harassment.
extension. Ah,